Hello everyone and welcome to our Saturday stream. Now before I get started, please let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Today we might be having an issue with my camera. You know what? I forgot to recharge my battery, so I'm really running low on my batteries, but hopefully we'll be able to get through this. So today I'm really excited because I'm going to be talking about how to become a successful freelancer. Now, of course, for some of you that are into web design, the next phase is to try and make money with your web design skills. So this is what we'll be covering today. We'll also be talking about all the strategies, how to get your profile out there, how to get known. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Now, I'd like to welcome everyone to the show. We've got Andrew, Caroline, RJ, Ganki, Sylvia, Andrew, Peder. We have Mohammed, Irene, Dawood, Caroline, Cody from South Africa. Good to see you. So you know what? As always, these Saturday live streams are really exciting for me, but do ask your questions as we go through this live stream. So if you have any questions, please ask your questions and I'll just keep an eye on the questions as we go through this. And for those of you that will join late, I will also record this and save it in the members area. So don't worry about it if you miss this. Okay, we also have more joining in here. We have Donna, we have Douglas, Monique, good to see you, Sufyan, excellent. Now, as I mentioned, if my camera goes, please forgive me. It's just because I forgot to charge my camera and I can't find the second battery. It's really annoying. All right, so before we get started, for some of you that know, I produced the Genesis template. Now, this template provides you with a header, footer, a 404 page, and also the search results page. Now, there were some issues with it when you install it, which was causing the footer not to show. This issue has been rectified, so I just want to go quickly and show you how to install this because I've also been getting some questions on how to install the Genesis theme because people were installing it in the wrong way. So before we get started, I just want to show you quickly how to do that. So for those of you that are just joining us, Wendy, good to see you. Brenda, good to see you as well. Excellent. So let me just show you quickly how to install this. And by the way, I've got the link there in the just below the video. If you want to buy the Genesis template, it's only $7. But for those of you that are members, VIP members, it's free. Just go into your dashboard, your learning dashboard, and you will see the Genesis theme. And also for those of you that bought the web design formula, it is also free. So let me show you how to install this quickly. So first of all, you can see here we have the default header, and if I scroll all the way down here, pretty much this is all we have here on the footer. So now let me show you how to install this quickly. So all you have to do is to come over here to your dashboard, come all the way down here to Divi, click on Theme Builder, and then you want to click on these two arrows here. This is the portability. Click on Import. Click here on No File Selected. Go to where the file is. Now mine is on the desktop here. Double click it. And then I'm just going to import the theme builder. So once this import has gone through, pretty much that's all you need to do. You just need to save, and this will just take over and give you a header and footer. Oh, in fact, this has happened again. This is weird. Am I running the latest Divi? Let's have a look. Oh, there we go. So I'm supposed to be running the latest Divi. You know what? For those of you that haven't updated to the latest Divi, please go ahead and do that. Right now, I'm just updating to the latest Divi. That is why it didn't work. And this is the issue that we were having before. So now that my theme has been updated, let's do this one more time. So I'm going to come over here, click on a theme builder. And then let's import it one more time. Click on import. Choose my file here. And this should work now. If it doesn't, I'm going to be very upset. All right, let's see. There we go. So the footer is there now. The header is there. So all I have to do now is to save changes. I'm going to log out of this. And then let's just go to our home page and see if we have a footer and a header. There we go. So this is our header. We have our search area here, and these are our links. And if I scroll, you can see we have a bit of an animation there. Pretty cool. And all the way down here, this is now our footer. And as you know, this is highly customizable. You can go in, change the colors of this, change all the links, but this will just help you design your websites really, really fast. All right. Now, this is why we are here today. We are talking about how to run a successful freelance business. So when I started designing websites, I think I've talked about this story before. It was quite a challenge because what I had were my skills. I was able to design websites. I taught myself how to design websites, but I assumed that, just by learning how to design websites, it's going to be easy to get work. And apparently this was the most difficult part. Getting the work was the hardest part because you can be very good at designing websites, but you need some very good skills to get those customers and convert those and to get some leads. Sufyan says, what happens to the older update? Yeah, the older version actually works, so you can just go ahead and install that. Michael says, was the Cutflow training removed? Yes, I removed it. I'm just about to complete that training, so I'm going to add it back onto the membership. Okay, so let's continue. So as I was talking about when I started with web design, I had the skills, but to turn those skills into making money, that was the challenge because apparently, it's very hard to approach companies. And I'm sure quite a lot of you can agree with me that approaching customers and trying to get work, web design work is not that straightforward. So I want to share my experience here and also give you some tips on how to get you started. So one of the mistakes that I made when I started designing websites is I started just designing websites for pretty much anybody. So I would just design a website for anyone. I didn't really focus into a specific niche. I just said, whoever wants a website, I can design it for you. Now, this is the first crucial mistake that I did. So for 3 years, I really, really, really struggled because it was very difficult to get the work in, and I wasn't known for a particular industry in web design. So what I did was I saw a friend of mine who lived in not too far from Birmingham in Wolverhampton. So this guy, Richard, he had a similar business, web design, but he had major clients, and yet he was using the same software that I was using. I was using Divi, and it was just mind-boggling how he was getting all these high-end clients. And it was very, very frustrating for me because I couldn't work out how he was doing it. So what I did is I had a meeting with him. We sat down and he gave me some tips. And what also he did for me was he told me he introduced me to one of his business mentors. Now, this lady was very, very good at working with designers. So what happened is this lady, came in, I paid the consultancy fee for the day. It was about £500, which is about $700, for a couple of hours. But the main takeaway from that was you need to have a niche. You need to have an industry that you're well known in. For example, in my case, when we drilled down everything, it was the manufacturing industry that I was supposed to focus in. But you know what? Even that was not enough because I had to tap into that area and really, really, really do my marketing and also go to a lot of events. I can see here. Okay, I'll just taking a look at the questions here. All right, so let's continue on. So what I learned from that was creating a niche was very, very important, and also stepping up your marketing skills was also very, very important. Now, I've just created this diagram here. So this is you, the freelance designer. So if you really want to get some work out there, so you need to create a USP, and your websites are supposed to be based on results. So you're supposed to be going to clients and say, look, I can design your website, but not only are you going to get a 5-page website or a 10-page website, but my website is going to help you either get more sales or more leads. So this is very, very important when you go to small businesses, because you can design a beautiful website, which is, so beautiful that, it's amazing. But if it doesn't do much for the client, to be honest, it's useless. So you need to come in with a value proposition where you're saying, look, the website I'm going to design for you is going to help you get leads, and you're also going to get a lot more sales from it. And this is where you start your pitch. So moving on. So what sort of skills you need to build in order for you to be able to give your clients these type of services? So first of all, you need to know how to create opt-in forms. I've done some tutorials about this. So opt-in forms are very, very important. So these are the forms that collect emails and help generate leads. So you can use MailChimp. It's absolutely free I think it's for the first 2,000 users. So that you can introduce to your clients. And if it's about, okay, in fact, let's continue talking about opt-in forms. So opt-in forms, you can add these on the website blog, or you can also create some specific landing pages. So this is something else you may need to learn, and this is creating landing pages. And I've also created a tutorial a few days ago about how to create a landing page. So these landing pages need to run offers, they need to run things like discounts, and these help increase the leads or more users on the mailing list. So this mailing list now can be used to market to in future. So I'm sure you've seen all these emails that you get towards Black Friday, Valentine's, towards Christmas, New Year's, and all of that. These are emails that are sent from a mailing list. So you need to either use ConvertKit or MailChimp. So far, if you're with me, please let me know in the comments box. Please let me know if you're with me, if you're following along, if I'm going too fast, or if you have any questions, please let me know. Or if what I'm saying totally makes sense. Okay, so opt-in forms, landing pages, these are going to help you generate leads. Now let's talk about more sales. So when it comes to sales, this is where you want to be able to have skills to create sales funnels. So there's two services out there that are really, really good. First of all, there's ClickFunnels. I'm sure you've heard of ClickFunnels. It's very expensive, especially if you're just starting off, because it's about, I think it's about $300 per month to use their service. And ClickFunnels helps you generate leads and also helps you create landing pages and sales funnels. So it is very, very good. But there's an option that we have in WordPress. It's called Cart Flows. And in fact, I'm in the process of putting that course together. In fact, we've spoken about Cart Flows here on this live for this live stream. So I will be making some more tutorials on Cart Flows. The advantages of using Cart Flows is everything's on WordPress, and when you buy it, it comes with a license of 30 websites. So you can actually use 30 websites with your subscription. Now, the next thing you want to do as well is, when you design websites for your clients, you don't want to just design the websites, like 5-page type websites. That's not good enough. You also need to be able to build them a blog and work on a content strategy for them. Because when you create a content strategy, this is how they're going to be found in their local area. Let me give you an example. So let's say you are designing a website for a local company in your area. In my case, let's say it's Birmingham, and it's a fitness, maybe it's a company that deals with fitness, or it's a gym. What you want to do is to write articles about fitness, or you want to create some videos about fitness and promote them locally in your area, on your Facebook page or Instagram page. Now, I'm going to cover more details regarding that as we proceed, but this is what you want to do. You want to create a business blog for your client and occasionally add some content on there. And this content will be found through the search engines. And if you optimize it for the local area, that's even better. You become really good at showing up in the local searches. Okay, now moving on, video services. Now this one here is really, really good, because what you can do is you can create a video, like an About Us video for the actual company. And by choosing the right keywords, you can have this video ranking on YouTube for that local area. So let's say fitness, gym membership Birmingham, and then you write or you do a video for that company. This also works really, really well. In fact, when I was in Zimbabwe, I think I mentioned this last week, I actually created an about us video for a farmer back there in Zimbabwe. So I'll be putting that together, showing you how I've actually recorded it and also how I edit it. So that will give you an idea of what sort of videos these are. So the idea with these videos is we want these videos to rank on YouTube, because remember, YouTube is the second largest search engine. This is why this is very, very important. Google is the first, and then YouTube is the second search engine on the internet. RJ says not for me. I mean, what is going on here? I'm not sure what is happening to RJ. Are you not able to see this live stream, or what is going on? Please let me know, RJ, before you leave. Right. I also have a question here from Monique, and Monique says, what do you recommend on number of sites to have as demos in your portfolio? Right. So when it comes to number of sites, it doesn't really have to be a lot of websites. What it needs is some of your key or your best work. This is the main approach that you need to take this. So it's not supposed to be the number of websites. So let's say, for example, I've designed 100 websites for 100 clients, right? It's not the number that's important. It's the key websites that you've designed, the ones that that you really like, and the ones that came out, really well. Those are the ones that you need to showcase. So I would say about 8 or 9. Those are pretty much enough. And when you write about those, you need to also create information about how you put them together. So this is pretty much like a case study. So I was going to talk about the case study, on my list of things to talk about here, but that's what you want to do. So you don't want to add too many websites in your portfolio. Max 10 websites, that's good enough, but these need to be your best work. And then you can also, add links to other, websites in your portfolio, but don't showcase them in the actual gallery. Okay, hopefully that answers that question. Here we have Warren saying, how could small client trust about lead generation, especially for your first client? Freelancer need to have skills for SEM also. Right. So as a freelancer, this is your job to actually convince the small business owners that lead generation is very important, and also explain to them how this can benefit their company. For example, if you approach a company and say, look, you guys, you do your fitness, but at the moment you just have a website, there's no landing pages, there's no lead generation. I can introduce a system for you that can help you generate leads and also allow you to promote those leads. And this is how it works. So for a gym, you can say, okay, 20% discount if you use coupon code, whatever it is. Put that on Facebook, put that on social media, promote it as much as you can. So as people are signing up now, they have to leave their name and email address. Okay, so when they leave their name and email address, they get added onto a mailing list. So in the future, so let's say these customers drop off. As you know, with the gym, people are super pumped for the first 3 months, and then they drop off. You want to be able to contact them again. So because you have these customers that you initially got in through the discount, you are able now to go back into your mailing list and send a broadcast email and say, look, we have another offer. This time, we can do a 1-to-1 for X price, or we have another special promotion. So this actually saves the company a lot of money, and also help them promote future deals. So that is how you want to convince them. Okay, you mentioned that blogs for clients should as freelancers also have a blog. Yes, we also need to have a blog as a freelancer. In fact, if you take a look at my diagram here, this is where this is going to go. We're going to be talking about the blog next. Right, I've got a question here from Caroline. Do you write blogs, make videos, and all of it, or refer them to top-notch blog writer? No, 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 Caroline. You don't want to refer them anywhere else. You need to have this on your own website. I'll be talking about this in more detail here in the next step, but don't refer anyone to another blog because they will take the business away from you. So don't do that. Let's take a look here. I've also got another question. I guess the question was about how to convince a small business that I'm able to help them generate new leads if they are my first client. What you want to do now in this case, so I can see where the issue could be here. So if it's your very first client, right? If it's your very first client, what you want to do is you want to have a sort of like a case study for yourself or design a website. I think I've mentioned this before. You want to go out there, look for a company that you can work with and offer them the services for free and say to them, look, I can design your website absolutely free. This is what I can do for you. So once you've implemented this strategy that we're talking about and it works, this is the case study now that you want to use to approach other companies. So if it's your first time and you haven't done this before, it's very difficult. So you want to have 2-3 websites that you've done this to, and then use that skill, as a case study for any future businesses. So that's how you want to do it. You don't want to just go in and say, I can help you get leads and hype them up without any evidence or without any case studies that you've done. So you want to first find 2 or 3 companies that you can work with, get some proper results with them, and then use that for your future clients. So that's how you want to do it. Okay, let's see here. Andrew says, wondered how you'd accommodate GDPR in such a strategy of collecting potential customer info and how you do it. Right, so I use ConvertKit and MailChimp. So this already has GDPR included in it. So this means that this information that you're collecting cannot be shared with any other companies, and MailChimp also makes sure that this information does not leave their servers. So that's how it's protected. So you don't have to do much on your side. And also, if they want to opt out of this mailing list, they can do that easily. So they're not forced to stay on there. And also remember, they're opting in. You're not just collecting random emails and then just sending emails out. That's not permissible. That's illegal actually. But if they have consent, if you have consent to collect their emails, then of course, you're good. Okay, so moving on. So what you want to do now, this is you, the freelancer. This is you, the freelancer. And also this connects to the question that I was answering before, which says, how do I convince a small business customer or a small business client that I can do all these services? Now, listen very carefully because this is very, very, very important. So what you want to do now as a freelancer, you need to be creating content. Okay, you want to be creating a lot of content on your own blog. So on your own website, which has your portfolio and all of that, you need to have a blog on there. Now on there, you want to talk about how to improve small businesses, how you can help them generate leads, how you can help them, or what they can do to improve certain aspects of their business. And this needs to be relating to, of course, web design and web design services. So that's exactly what you want to do. So by showing people, in fact, let me just give you an example. Now, if you saw me, of course, you guys see me creating these tutorials about DV, about web design and so on. If you wanted to hire someone out there in Birmingham, let's say in my area here, Birmingham in the UK. So let's say you wanted to hire someone for web design services. Who would you hire? Someone that you just go on Google and type in search web design services in Birmingham, and the random company comes up? Or would you want to work with someone like myself after seeing all my videos? Now, where I'm getting at with this is when you produce videos or write articles, automatically you've indirectly said to that person, I know what I'm doing and I know how to create websites, without actually saying it. So it's like selling without selling. And this is why it's important to document your work, create some videos. In fact, videos work really, really well. Even here on my channel, I get a lot of people asking me for web design services. Of course, I pick and choose what to work with, but mostly I now prefer, doing the coaching, the teaching, the tutorials, and so on, and also creating courses. That's the type of work that I prefer doing now. But occasionally, I get a lot of work requests of how to redesigning websites and designing websites. And this is purely through just people seeing my videos. So I don't actually go out there and say, this is what I do. In fact, if you Google my name or you Google my services, you won't find anything on the website that says I design websites. But because I work with Divi and I do a lot of tutorials, people want me to design their websites for them. So this is selling without selling. So this is why it's important for you to have a blog where you talk about lead generation, you talk about the importance of landing pages, you talk about the benefits of having a video, an about us video on your website, the benefits of having a business blog, the benefits of having a Facebook group, Facebook advertising. Those are the topics that you need to be writing about, because these are the topics that relate to the small businesses. I hope that makes sense. This is why you want to have a blog on your website. Ray says, how do you handle site maintenance? I will also come back to this question, Ray. So, moving on, I think I've emphasized the importance of the blog. Now, as well as the blog, if you take a look here at this diagram, you can see here we have an arrow pointing to social media. Now, it's very, very important to also be active on social media, because Facebook, pretty much majority of people are on Facebook. A lot of people are on YouTube and, of course, Instagram. So what you want to do is create a Facebook business page. Okay, your Facebook business page is very important, because every time you finish working on a project, you want to go in there, put your project in there, and also talk about it now that you've completed it. YouTube, you want to be creating your own tutorials. Even if you don't show your face and you're just recording the video and just showing the results, the stats, all your key achievements with the websites that you're working on. That is very, very important. Or even just talking about a website project. So you can go in and say, look, last week I had a project to design a website, blah, 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 blah. This is how I approached it. I started designing the logo, and then I designed the landing page. This is how I chose the colors. This is how I designed the wireframe, or the structure of the page sitemap. This is how I added all my images. This is how I took all the photos, and this is now the final result. Just showing people that is very, very, very important. People want to see that process. People want to see the before, after. People want to see the brief to the final project. This is very important. So this is why you want to be documenting all this on either your blog or on your YouTube channel or your Facebook page. And in the future, if you now are getting good at social media, what you may want to do as well is to do Facebook advertising. Now, Facebook is very good at this one here, because you can actually advertise in your local area. So you could say in your local area, advertise, like for example, here in Birmingham, I could put in my services for web design in my local area, and those people in Birmingham will only see my ad. So that's the stage you want to be taking further up here. So having a blog, social media, very, very important. Now, Instagram, how do you use Instagram? Now, the way I'm talking about Instagram here is not how a lot of people use Instagram. So most people just use Instagram, taking pictures where they are and all of that. Now, what you want to do is to use Instagram to showcase your finished websites, your landing pages. So just put them on Instagram and just write a caption like, just completed this website, whatever it is, all on Instagram. This is also very, very powerful, because Instagram is owned by Facebook, and this is all about trying to get as much exposure as possible. Now, as I'm discussing about these strategies here, you notice that this is the marketing strategy, because here you may have very good skills on how to design websites, but it's how to find the customers that's difficult. Now, you don't want to be doing cold calling, and I'm sure once you get rejected a few times, it's not a good feeling. I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't touch calling cold customers to get them to want my web design services. And I'm sure some of you have received emails saying, oh, we can design your website for you. To me, those are one of the most annoying emails that I receive in my mailbox. It's so annoying, especially when you go on LinkedIn and you put your profile there, or people automatically want to send you all these emails about services. Now, if I had seen that company's services before, or maybe I've seen their video of them working on a project behind the scenes and stuff like that, maybe I'll be interested. But just a cold call or just an email from a random email saying you can design a website for me, you have great SEO skills, that is not good. You want to be able to convince a customer, or want a customer to want to work with you, through just putting all your information or all your videos or all your content on social media. So your blog, social media, very, very important. Okay, now moving on. Now this is the social media strategy here. So you create your blog, you also create some tutorials, some articles, share them on social media, and so on. Now here's the thing. You also need to be active on the ground, offline. So this is the online that I'm talking about. Now let's talk about offline. So when it comes to offline, you need to attend industry events, you need to attend conferences, you need to attend social meetups. Like here in the UK, we have Institute of Directors. I'm not sure how it is wherever you are, in Germany, USA, and so on. But here in the UK, we have what is known as the Institute of Directors. Now, this is a very good place to go, because this is where you can actually go and network with directors of companies. So imagine if you can go there, perhaps maybe find a spot to speak about how you can improve small businesses, or how you can help them generate leads. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just giving them basic information about how to structure this, they will get it. And of course, because they are seeing you present, you are able now to get these clients right in front of you as you're networking. So it's very, very powerful. And the same applies to the Chamber of Commerce. I'm not sure if this also applies in outside the UK, but these are pretty much institutes which are for directors or business owners. So they normally have like coffee mornings and some lunches and some events. So if you go in there and you have something to provide, something of value, especially speaking, if you go in and speak at these coffee mornings or lunch meetings, this will be a fantastic opportunity for you to get customers, because they can see you and you're talking about the technology, you're talking about how you can help them. Because remember, you need to be giving a lot of value to these small business owners, because a lot of them have no clue what to do to increase their business. So you want to come in as the expert and explain all these technologies. And to be honest, all these things that I've spoken about, the opt-in forms, landing pages, sales pages, business blogs, they are very, very easy to achieve. So if you want to step up your game and really grow your freelance business, you want to make sure you want to be talking about these key things that I've mentioned here, because this will just separate you from the normal freelancers that go in and design 5-page websites. You want to go in and talk about websites that bring results, because there's two things that small business owners want. They want leads, or they want to increase sales. That's it. All these pretty websites, it doesn't matter. Even if you create a website that looks so amazing and it doesn't produce results, it doesn't work. Doesn't work at all. So this is why it's important to go in with a unique USP where you're talking about how your website is going to help that small business owner. Right. Okay. Let's take a look here at some questions. Samir says, where should you post your videos first? YouTube or Facebook? Both. I would actually use YouTube, because I'll use YouTube first, because YouTube is a search engine. So if you create a video for your local area, those keywords will be picked up when people search for that area. Like, for example, let's say fitness lessons in Birmingham, and you design a video and put it on YouTube. That will come up in the search results. So I would use YouTube first. Facebook is also important, because in Facebook it's also great because it can be shared easily. So I would use both, but if I were to prioritize, I would prioritize YouTube because it's a search engine. Michael says, I post my video on YouTube and then put my profile and my Facebook pages just in the thumbnail of my YouTube videos, and my link in the comment is best to do. Yes, that's fantastic. So you want to be able to let people contact you as easy as possible. So once you've done the video, you can just add a call to action and say, at the end of the video, you can just say, look, if you want more services from me, I will leave all my information in the video description below. And that's where you have a link to your website. So yes, you want to add all your information in the video description. Vimeo does not. Vimeo is not good. Vimeo is not a search engine, so I wouldn't recommend using Vimeo. Kirk here says, what is a USP? USP is unique selling proposition. Unique selling proposition. So you are coming in with something totally different to what everyone else is doing. So you want to differentiate yourself, and this is what is USP. So it's your unique proposition. So that's your unique way that you're going to approach your clients, and you explaining the uniqueness of your services as compared to others. That's your USP. And in this case, what I'm suggesting here is your USP is supposed to be, I help you generate more leads, or I can help you get more sales. And these are the things that we're talking about here: sales, these opt-in forms, landing pages, sales funnels, and so on. Right. Irene says, if I want to create a membership, which content should I offer free and which only for members? I can't figure it out. Very good question. I know it's a side question, but I might as well answer it quickly. Now, when it comes to membership websites, what you want to do is what you provide for free is basically like a taster, right? It's not your full course or your full information. Like, for example, let's say you want to have a membership website about painting. Right? What you give for free is the what. Okay? The what. So for example, if you want to paint a room, what do you need? You need this type of brush, you need this type of paint, and this type of paint is better than this one. And you also need to have, let's say, these type of tools to prepare the room. You also need to have maybe this type of roller. So this is the what. So what you give for free could be a list of things that you need to paint your room. That's what you give for free, and that is what is called the what. Okay? The what are the things that you need in order for you to paint a room. So you list those things in maybe a PDF and give away those for free. Now the paid stuff is the how. So all these tools that you have, how do you actually paint the room? So this is where now this becomes a paid product, where you actually show them how to paint, how to use the tools, how to prepare, all the things to look out for, and so on. So I hope that's clear. The what is pretty much a list, or you explain those things that you need without going into detail as to how it's actually used. And then the how is what you sell in the membership. I hope that makes sense. Roger says, how important is having a clear and simple message on websites? I see more one-page website. Now some people can get to do what you do in 5 seconds. Yes, it's very important to state how important it is or what your website does in less than 5 seconds. I think I've mentioned this on one of our workshops before. It's very important to make sure that when someone comes on your website, they know exactly what your website does, what your services are in less than 5 seconds. Okay, so yes, it is very important because you want to reduce people bouncing off your website because they have to work out what the information is on your website. So it's very, very important that you like in this case, you could say, we design websites that help you generate leads and provide more sales. Boom, that's done. That's your main headline for your website, accompanied with an image that that also works with that type of message. So that's it. We design websites that help you generate leads and generate more sales. That's your main thing. And then your call to action could be click here to get a free quotation, or click here for a free 30-minute consultation. In fact, I'll talk about these call to actions in a moment. Okay, so I've spoken about the industry events, the conferences, the meetups, the Institute of Directors, Chamber of Commerce. These are very, very important. You need to be on the ground, interacting with people, talking to people for you to get all these jobs. Once you get 5 really good ones, the next stage now is to really talk to these clients and ask for referrals. So once you start asking for referrals, you'll find that you won't need to spend a lot of money trying to promote your freelance business. It'll be quite easy because whoever you've worked with, they'll recommend you to other companies or other clients. And this is how you start growing your business slowly. And you'll find that once you get, let's say 10, it becomes a snowball effect. Now, in the last few workshops, we talked about, how to work fast as a designer. Of course, you need to have all those skills in place as well. I mean, all those things that we've talked about in order for you to work fast, because sometimes you may be working on 2 or 3 projects at the same time. You want to be able to work really fast. So if you haven't watched the live workshops for previous weeks, please go ahead and take a look at those, because that's also going to help you work fast as a freelance designer. All right, so now, in fact, let me just take a quick look here. Jeanette says, do you have a MailChimp plugin you use, or do you use a custom code for your pop-ups and forms? What I do, I use ConvertKit. I prefer using ConvertKit, and ConvertKit can be integrated with Divi. In fact, if you go to my YouTube channel, there's, I think 3 videos ago, I created a landing page, and I show you how to integrate Divi with ConvertKit or MailChimp. So please take a look at that video. Okay, so moving on, I can see there's quite a lot of questions here. There's a question here from Atul saying, how can I use this technique to win clients from online freelance sites like Upwork, etc.? Now, online freelance sites, to be honest, those are very, very competitive, very competitive, and it's very difficult to really charge decent money with those services. So Upwork and these freelance sites, it's mostly like bidding for jobs. You don't want to be doing that because you cheapen your services. You want to be servicing your local area or businesses in a particular city. So you want to be known as the guy who's designing websites for all these small businesses. A lot of these small businesses don't even know that how a website can actually help them, gain more money, more leads, and more services. So you want to be working on your local area. Like, for example, if I wanted to start my web design business here, I'll be doing it in Birmingham and service pretty much Birmingham. Go to all the events and find ways to promote my business in there. Maybe even do things like running competitions and just being involved in charities. There's so many ways that you can actually get your footprint on the ground. Okay. Muhammad says, do you have a proposal template that we can use when you send offers to clients containing details? Yes, I have a template. I'll be sharing that very soon. In fact, I'm actually working on a package where it's going to have all these tools, because I'm going to be putting together a course about how to be successful as a freelance designer. And this will have all this information in there. So I'll be putting all this together. Michael says, are you still going to make templates for cut flows? Absolutely. As you can see here, the Divi builder has been improved a lot, and also cut flows has been improved a lot. I will be creating a lot of templates for cut flows as well to help you use these as your starting points in your your businesses that you're going to be working with. So definitely I'm going to create quite a lot of packages, basic lead generation funnels, basic sales funnels with upsells and downsells. So all these things I'll be creating for you. They'll just be, click and install, just like how we did with the Genesis template. So they'll be very, very easy to install, very easy to set up. So definitely I'm working on those. I'm working hard, very hard behind the scenes to give all these services to you. Okay. Rebecca says, is this being recorded? I missed the first 30 minutes. Yes, this is being recorded. So you will be able to watch this, watch the replay. Okay, right. So moving on, let's talk about other ways that you can use to actually promote your freelance business. In fact, let me see here. I have a question here from Monique saying, how can you compete against freelancer and other companies where people bid at extremely low prices for a basic website? That's a very good question. As I mentioned before, people buy services and goods from people, right? And people want to pay for something that's going to give them a great result. So instead of competing for these £200 websites, £100 website, 5-page website, you don't want to be doing that. You want to separate yourself and package all your services that you can provide. And this is why if you use this template that I'm working with, those guys mainly say, oh, we design a website for you, 5-page website, and then we can put you on Google. Most of it is just, pretty much high volume websites. They're not quality websites. So your approach now is saying, look, if you work with me, I'm going to help you get results with your website. I can help you generate leads. And then now, of course, you know how to create a landing page. You know how to put MailChimp on there, connected with Divi. Simple. Next, you want to generate traffic to that landing page. So if it's a discount, you want to be able to go onto social media, promote that discount in the local area and so on. So as people are signing up, that's how you're building your mailing list, and show your clients that, look, this is the result that we can give you, and you can use these emails to promote, future services. When it comes to sales, same thing. Show them how you can do a basic product which can cost very little, and how you can help them upsell to a higher product, and show them all the stats. So this is how you want to be approaching them, because if you just go in and say, I design websites, pretty much anyone can design a website now. You can go in, watch, the web design formula course. By the end of 2-3 days, boom, you're very good at designing a website. But you don't want to be competing with that. This is why I'm actually showing you how to differentiate yourself and not compete with anyone out there. You are yourself, so go out there with your unique proposition, your unique way of doing things. So this is how you want to approach it. Don't compete with all these other, cheap services. Go in yourself with your proposition. And also, if you do very good blogs, and you do very good videos, and you've got case studies, and you document all your work, you'll be a step ahead of these guys, because they don't do any of that. So this is how you're differentiating yourself. I hope that answers the question. Okay. Brenda says, looking forward to your Cutflows products. I have not purchased Cutflows, but will at some point. Yes, Cutflows is fantastic. In fact, if you take a look at the Genesis template, this is how I'm actually using Cutflows. It has a landing page, a checkout page, thank you page. That's all you need. And this is how you want to be creating your sales pages. These sales pages are not very complicated. In fact, you know what? Next week, how about I show you how I'm selling the Genesis template? And you know what? Even you can sell your own templates. And I really want you guys to start creating templates and start selling them. So you can create an actual template for small businesses where you can just say to them on your website, have a shopping page, have a few pages on there, and say, look, which template do you want to go with? Do you want to buy this template, that template, that template? If they choose the template, then you can go in and charge them to add content onto their website. That's another way you can actually use these templates to make money. But I'm going to share with you my results on the Genesis template, so I can show you how this is actually working, because sometimes you can overcomplicate things and think, oh, you know what, it's so difficult to do this. But I'm telling you, it's very, very straightforward. I used to underestimate these sales funnels until I actually started seeing how they work. They're fantastic. And I'll show you how to use these. Okay, do we have another question here? Brenda says, I want to offer video services. How and where do I learn? Okay, again, this is something that I may add onto our membership, depending on obviously the demand. But Brenda, what I could actually do is, if there isn't much of a demand on there, I can go through and just share with you, maybe on a one-to-one basis, what you need and how to, put all these, all the tools that you need and how to get started with the video services. So I will publish this. In fact, why don't we do this now? Would any one of you want to see a course on how to create videos for clients and how to get started with video services? Please let me know in the comments box. So that would sort of like give them an idea if anyone else is interested, and I can create a course for it. Mohammed says, will cut flows take over default WooCommerce pages? No, not necessarily, but when you use WooCommerce, you don't want to be using those default WooCommerce pages because they don't look beautiful. They're just standard, cookie cutter out of the box. You want to be using like professional landing pages, which look way much different. In fact, you know what? Why don't you take a look here at? Let me get the link for you. It's funnels to income. If you take a look here, funnels to income /Genesis, you can take a look at that page and see behind the scenes it's WooCommerce that's working, but you don't see any sort of inclination to that being WooCommerce. And this is how you want to be creating your landing pages and your sales pages. Okay, so just take a look at that link. Kirk says the course will be great, fantastic. So yes, I'm getting a lot of good feedback here. Okay, fantastic. Alex says yes. Andrew says yes. Okay, great. So let me make a note here. Fantastic. So I've just made a note. This is one of the courses that I'm going to be creating also very, very soon. But this is after I've published the cut flows and the membership and the memberships. Oh, talking about memberships, this is also a service that you can provide here for your customers. So you can go in and say, look, I can also provide you with a website that can provide membership. That's a unique selling point. So you can go in with just memberships. In fact, I'll add it up here. So memberships are also very, very important. And all you need is one plugin. And boom, now you can provide services where you're not just creating your basic, normal 5-page website about us, services, gallery, and contact. No, now you're creating membership websites. You're creating sales funnels. You're creating landing pages. You have opt-in forms. This is what's going to differentiate you. But you know what? What's really important? You need to create your own blog, add your content on the blog, have a huge social media presence, and also on the ground, make sure you go to a lot of these industry events, conferences, social meetups, Institute of Directors. If you have these in your countries, I'm not sure what they'll be called, Chamber of Commerce. These are very, very important. So what else can you do to promote your business? Right. So I've spoken about publishing case studies. Now, the next important thing is to add your company to Google My Business. So Google My Business is a service where you can just post your company details onto Google. So when you do a search, it shows up on the sidebar. So let me just go in here and let me type Zelig Building. So this is where I am. So you see the result that you get here. So here you can see you have Zelig Business Center. This is where my studio is. So you can see it has 28 reviews. So this is the information that you want to have about your website. So if I click here, You can see it expands, and then it shows you the address, it shows you the hours, the phone. It also shows you the events that they have on this page. So this is what comes up when you search Zelig. So let's say you have a company, you want people to be able to search for it, and then all the information comes over here on the right. And even more exciting, take a look here. We also have Facebook bringing up all this information. So you also want to have a Facebook business page. Take a look here. If I click here on Zelig, you notice that it has a nice picture there. 200 people like this. So I've just searched for Zelig, and this is what's coming. These are the results that we're showing in Google. Very important. Make sure that the other service that you also provide for your company is tell them that you can help your companies get listed on Google and have this page here, and also explain to them that I can have your company listed on Facebook. This is very, very important. And these are the sort of things that your customers want to see, or your clients want to see. If you can show them this, and here, look, you have directions, you have the actual website, and so on. Very, very important. These are the sort of things that you need to be able to mention that you can provide for your services. Monique says, what membership plugin do you use? I use MemberPress. I'll also be creating a course about MemberPress, so keep an eye on that as well. It's long overdue, so I'm definitely working on that. Okay, so I've spoken about publishing your website on your adding a company profile on Facebook and also on Google. Next, you want to make sure that you add your address and phone number on your website, and that should be easy to find on your website. Have it in the footer and also on the contact page. It's very, very important. I've also spoken about publishing case studies. Those are really, really important as well. Now, here we go. Video testimonials where possible. Video testimonials are very, very important. In fact, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, I did ask for video testimonials. I've actually got a very good testimonial from Richard. So Richard, if you're on this live stream or if you watch this later, thank you so much. And for those of you that can do a video testimonial for me, I'd really, really appreciate it. I'd like to add these onto the website so people can have an idea of what this membership is about, and also just how you find the web design formula course. So please, if you can do a testimonial for me, I'd really, really appreciate it. Okay, I also mentioned that you need to focus on results. So the websites you're building are just not pretty websites. These are websites that are focused on results. So you tell them that, you generate leads, more sales, you can help them get listed on Google. So when people search for their business, it's easy to find. These are the sort of things that clients want to hear. Right, when it comes to running a contest, this is a bit more advanced, but this is something that you may want to consider. In fact, we can go into more detail on part 2 of how to promote your freelance business. Okay, building a mailing list is also very important. I mentioned this. This could be a mailing list for, let's say you write a list of things that are a small business company need to get to generate more leads or more sales, and they opt in onto your mailing list. You can use this mailing list to actually send emails with proposals as soon as they opt into wanting to find out how they can, increase sales for their business. So this is why you also need to generate a mailing list on your blog. Okay, so moving on, I also spoke about referrals. You need to make sure that after you've designed the website and they're happy with it, get a video testimonial or a written testimonial that you can add on your website. This helps also more visitors that come to your website know what your services are. So it's and how you've helped other customers. Okay. Sufyan says, do we need a multilingual website, content, etc.? No, you can just do your website in your local language, or so that should work fine, unless, of course, they want a specific service to have a multilingual website. But there are plugins that can do a fantastic job for that as well. Sufyan, I wouldn't know. This is something that you can offer your clients, especially if they are a non-English speaking company. Like, let's say, for example, you're in Spain and that company also has customers in English-speaking countries in Europe, so you can offer that as well as a service. So it just depends with the client itself. Right, this question is from, let's take a look here, from Andrew. Memberium is also good, but I pretty much prefer using MemberPress, but both do a fantastic job. Roger says, I purchased Genesis template on the day it came out. Is there an update to it? Yes, I will also, if you go to your dashboard, I think I have the latest update in there. I'll just double check. If not, it's going to be Genesis 1.1. Okay, so if you see 1.1, that means that's the latest one. Sylvia says, accept the free call. What can we use the lead magnet? So the lead magnet can be maybe 5 tips to that you can do to your website to help you generate more leads. So this is an article that you can write or a video that you can do, and then you can use that video as a lead generation, as a lead gen. So when people sign up to watch that video, those are the emails that you'll be collecting. So it could be any beneficial information that could help small business owners. Remember, you need to give before you can receive. So if you're giving valuable information about how these small businesses can grow, it helps a lot, and it'll be very easy for them now to want to take, look at your services even further. So this is how you can use your lead generation magnets. David says, do you have a tutorial about membership? I'm working on a mini course that will show you how to put together a membership website. So keep an eye on the memberships. So I will be adding it in about a few weeks or so. All right, so this will do it for today's live stream. So I hope I've covered quite a lot here. In fact, there was a lot to talk about. If you like more of these topics, I can pretty much drill into these specific areas here so that we can talk more about them if you are interested in freelancing. So I know last time I did ask in the live stream, and quite a lot of people wanted more content and more information about freelancing. So we can actually dial deep into all of these if these are the sort of topics that you are interested in. And also, before I forget, Genesis template is right here. If you want to buy the Genesis template, it's also good for your freelancing business. You can use this as your starting point. It has your header, your footer, your 404 page, and also your search results page. It's only $7 for those of you that are not members, or for those of you that have not yet bought the web design formula. So if you buy the web design formula or you're a VIP member, you will get access to all these templates and all the future templates for free. In production as we speak, I'm working on a blog template. So this blog template will be fantastic, especially if you want to add a blog onto your existing Divi website. So this is what I'll be working through. It's probably going to be about $9 or $19. Not sure how complex it's going to be. So once it's ready, I will send out an email and you guys will know as soon as it's out. All right, so this will do it for today's live stream. Thank you very much for tuning in. And also, next Saturday, same time, 12:30 UK time, GMT UK. Again, we'll be live here. Yesterday, I actually forgot to send the email out, so I will send an email out in advance so that you guys have a chance to, save your spot. All right, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Really, really appreciate it. If you still have any questions, please leave your questions in the comments box below. And if you joined this live stream late, I'm going to have this recorded and I will upload it onto the membership on the VIP dashboard. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great weekend. Take care.